Hey geeks, this is the officially unofficial Geek Channel weekly comic roundup. Spoilertastic as always. I am your host, Carrie Quinn, and here we go. We've got comics, and I'm going to talk to you about them right now. Okay, so today we are just going to jump right into it. Don't have much to say. Check out some of my other videos on the channel. If you're new here, please subscribe so that you can see everything I do that's nice and pop culture-tastic wonderful. Please check out some of my recent haul videos and unboxing videos. Please also check out my most recent spoiler-tastic review of Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. Just put it up on the channel a couple days ago. Check it out. I also have a review of Music Box Jagged, the HBO Max documentary about the anniversary of Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette. And as always, we talk comics here, so let's get into it. Let's do this. Like, share, comment. Let me know what you thought of this week's comics as I go along or after you're done watching. I don't care. Just give me something. Okay, anyway, so we always start from my least liked comic and we work our way to my pick of the week. I gotta tell you, this week there was not many major problems with the comics once I allowed myself to let go of the fact that Fear State is completely not run in chronological order. As long as I was allowed myself to let go of that, to let it go. Make like Elsa, let it go. As long as I was able to let that go, I was able to enjoy the comics. That does not change the fact that I do have a little special project brewing in the works for that whole situation. But I digress. Let's get into this. My first comic I'm going to talk to you guys about today is DC versus Vampires. Woohoo! Look at that. Okay, guys, I gotta tell you something. You know, it wasn't really all that bad. I did enjoy this issue a bit more than I did last month, the last issue. Okay, so like here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna jump right in with this and tell you, while it wasn't all that horrible, it was actually kind of decent. I'm gonna jump right in and tell you what my major gripe, what my major complaint, what my major criticism is of this story. Okay, so the last issue we had Andrew Bennett. Andrew Bennett got, dead again. He was a vampire, and we found out that Hal Jordan is a vampire. Yeah. So, but one of the things Andrew Bennett did before he was dispatched was he contacted Bruce Wayne, aka, as you know, Batman, to help him out in this situation. And that's where a vial of Lex Luthor's blood went to for research purposes, I'm assuming, so that Batman would be able to tell what's really going on here. And it would, I guess, also act as proof to the situation. So what we got going on here is Batman knows that this is tough shit here. This is going to be rough, and he's going to need all hands on deck. So what does he do? Hi, my little kitty's down here. What does he do? He goes ahead and he calls in the Bat Troops. So basically what he's done is he's called in Damien, he's called in Red Robin, he's called in Cassandra, he's called in Stephanie, he's called in Dick, he's called in Barbara, he's called in Jason, everyone. Everyone is there. It's an Elseworlds tale, so even Alfred is there, because it's Elseworlds. In this universe that DC versus vampires takes place, Alfred is still alive. So he calls them all in, and you're thinking, okay, cool. He's calling them all in to, see if everything's okay with everyone, to kind of tell everyone what's going on, everything like that. So he says, I want you guys to come here during the day. Reasonable request, Batman. Reasonable request. You want to see, whoever doesn't show up after being summoned there, who doesn't, do okay in the sun. You want to see. You want to see that. So Batman summons everyone to come in the middle of the day, and they show up there in the middle of the day, in the middle of the bright, sunny day, in their crime fighting outfits. Their little crime fighting outfits. In the middle of the day. Freaking Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, and Nightwing, Dick Grayson, are climbing on the outside of Wayne Manor in broad daylight in their crime fighting, costumes, their special outfits, guys. Their special outfits. If they needed to meet all these people in the middle of the day and everybody knows who each other is, why didn't they just gather in their regular street clothing? Huh? Like, why didn't Jason show up as Jason? Why didn't Dick Grayson show up as Dick Grayson? Why did they have to show up as Red Hood and Nightwing during the day? I thought all that was supposed to be like nighttime stuff. But no. He has them there in costume, in their special crime-fighting outfits in the middle of the day. That was my major gripe, guys. There, I got it out of the way. We can all move on. So what's another thing that Batman does? He has Alfred prepare tea, cocoa for Damien, because he doesn't drink tea. He prepares tea with holy water. So if everybody drinks it, they're not vampires if they're A-okay with it. So obviously, all pretty reasonable. He needs to make sure none of them are secret vampires. Okay, so on the other side of things, we have Green Arrow seems to be working with Batman. Alrighty, because Green Arrow's out kind of screening villains because the vampires are going to, and trying to change and or kill villains first. So he goes and he's talking to some villains, and he, warns them about what's going on. So we've got Green Arrow. He's on the right side. And you know what? We also check in with Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan has met up with his friend, Barry Allen, the Flash, and was like, hey, Barry, got this new thing going on, and I'm really sorry, but my master thinks that you would be a bad vampire. So now I'm killing ya. He's killed Barry Allen. Sorry, bud. He would have... I went to bat for you, Barry Allen, but I cannot keep you around, basically, is what Hal Jordan did. And he killed Barry Allen. In an Elseworlds tale, okay? It's not that big of a deal, guys. Okay, so the next issue I'm going to talk to you guys about is Detective Comics 1045. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to do that right there and look at Detective Comics 1045. Just cover up that Fear State thing, because it has absolutely nothing to do with Fear State, and I don't know why they're putting that on there. Okay, so fuck it. I'm gonna just ignore the entire Fear State BS on this cover, because the story is a continuation of the Vile storyline, the Vile story arc, with the Parasite. Barbara is still using Oracle, so obviously it has nothing to do with Fear State. This is not a Fear State story. Sorry. Okay. It's not a Fear State story, guys. But let's go ahead and talk about this story, because actually it is pretty good conclusion, by the way, to the Vile story arc, where Batman and Nakano had to work together and reevaluate the way they look at each other, which was really kind of cool because Batman basically saved the mayor of Gotham's ass, a few times through this whole storyline. And finally, the mayor realizes it. And we have a pretty good kind of joining of the minds here. And it leaves it open for them to keep this kind of line of communication open with each other to possibly work together. I found it a really entertaining storyline. I did enjoy the whole Mr. Worth, Hugh Vile, Parasite storyline enjoyable. I'm assuming based on the way it kind of got wrapped up here that it is wrapping up that storyline. So, it was a pretty interesting, entertaining arc, and I love any excuse to break out Cat Kane, which they do in this issue, and they've done in previous issue for this storyline. I am, however, sitting here wondering, where is Huntress? Because they broke out Huntress, and she was around, right? And then nothing. No Huntress. Where'd Huntress go? I was enjoying that. Where did Huntress go? That's one of my complaints involving this issue. Anyway, moving on. We're going to talk next about Task Force Z. Task Force Z number 2, which I found to be still pretty enjoyable. I enjoyed the first one. I know there were plenty of people that were kind of like not cool about it and didn't like it. I actually really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed this one as well. We get another opportunity to see, Jason Todd, in a towel, so that's kind of cool. But it's kind of weird. Okay, so I'm really enjoying how, it seems like Jason Todd is kind of like kind of taking the role of ringleader here. He's actually taking the role of ringleader, and kind of has to kind of babysit everyone and kind of get everyone together. And there's just like this moment where he's just like, they get sent out to find a possible new team member. Now, okay, when we're talking team member in Task Force Z, we're assuming somebody that's probably dead. Well, the thing is it just seems like Jason Todd kind of was dealing with some shit, in this whole issue. And he's just like, well, I see a dead person. I see, Deadshot. He's dead right here. Is this it? And they end up fighting like this whole cult, this whole death cult thing. And he's just like, okay, so this time I didn't get ate, or someone didn't try to eat me. So we all look at that as a plus. I just think it's funny because it seems like he is trying to juggle his team the way Batman tries to juggle him. And he's kind of getting a taste of his own medicine here. And it's kind of funny. I don't know if the writer intended this to be kind of a humorous thing, but I'm finding humor in it, so that's fine. It's okay. You get out of things what you get out of them. Okay, I'm enjoying this wonderful zombie Jason Todd story and zombies with Jason Todd. Jason Todd isn't a zombie, but you get what I'm saying. Okay. So, the next one we're going to talk about the conclusion of Batman Reptilian. Oh my god, this was so good. It went from being, and I know I say this every goddamn month, but you know what? It went from being one of my least favorite to being one of my favorites every time. And it's another ending to a story that I hated and then ended up loving. Kind of a bummer that it's over. That art was absolutely wonderful. The writing with Batman egging on Croc is funny. Um, the treatment of Batman's informant was just like, he had no qualms about using this guy, and then, just like, oh, totally screwing him up and screwing him over. The treatment of Croc was brilliant, savage, all at the same time. I loved the writing when it got down to that, with Batman egging on Croc and everything, and Batman's sarcasm deluxe. Yeah, he ate a sarcasm sandwich and just kept on eating them. Um, I loved the way that the murky, heavy, dark art of Liam Sharp just kind of gradually gets lighter, until the end, when things are just still in that style, but like bright and crispier, and just like, oh wow. So it's kind of like you have like this in the beginning, looking at like Batman Reptilian 1, and you're seeing this art that's absolutely beautiful, but it's so dark and murky, and then just issue by issue, it's like when everything starts kind of coming to light, and they start piecing things together, and then all of a sudden it by the end it's like bright. And I love how just kind of everything just kept on lighting up. And I wonder if that was, I'm just gonna wonder this, if that was a an artist's choice, if that was the writer and the artist saying, yeah, man, we got to do it, this is gonna look cool. If it was, I noticed. If it was unintentional, I still noticed. um and it was great. I loved it. I loved it. Great conclusion to that story. The next one I'm going to be talking to you guys about is Catwoman. Now, at first I thought this was Ron V's last issue, but nope, he's got one more. He's got one more coming. And if you ignore the fact that DC released Fear State out of order chronologically in the story, it's really wonderful. It's really a great story. It's really a great issue. I absolutely loved it. There's a beautiful melody and arc, harmony here. Epic. It was epic. And you know, uh, so this has just been one issue after another of Selena outwitting, outlasting, and outclassing everyone that underestimates her, and in this quest to be of self-acceptance, and has now accumulated in this place where she just gets it done. She gets it done. She gets it done time and time again. She is again, always and forever, one step ahead of everyone, and they can all fade behind her, and her cast of strays. With the assist here in this issue, they are still fighting the White Witch, but now the White Witch is multiplying. You have Harley fighting her. You have Bella the Gardener and Catwoman fighting, and the strays are doing their parts, and you have the assist from Ghostmaker later on in the issue, and Clayface and his second chance crew. Oh my god, and her beloved strays. Yes, Catwoman is the queen of Alleytown and anywhere she rests her head, because when Edward Oh my god, when Edward Nigma thought he had one-upped Selena and taken Ivy, only to find out it was Clayface pretending to be Ivy. Yes. Yes. I can't even like sit here and tell you like how absolutely wonderful everything came together in this issue. If it had been Ron V's last issue, it would have been great. But no, he gets to show us more next month. And he's already promised for there to be more emotion there. And okay, I'm ready. Give it to me. I got quite emotional over this. She's just like, you know what? When she's just like, y'all think you had me. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You all think you had me, but you didn't. And then she's just like, look at all these things I realized about myself and how I've grown as a person. It was just spectacular. Spectacular is the word. And next thing that I'm going to talk to you about right now is Harley Quinn number 9. Shit. I love me some fucking Harley Quinn. Let me tell you, I love this. I've gotten a lot of this is a Derek Chew variant. I've gotten a lot of his with this run of Harley Quinn because I just love him. I don't know, I just love him. It was great. And guys, Harley Quinn loves Mustangs. Girl after my own heart. If you didn't already guess, I love Mustangs, and Harley Quinn does too. Same girl, same. Harley and Ivy are on the move, and it's annoying that we don't get DC to release these stories better because we already know. We already know how this turns out for Harley and Ivy, and it would be really good if we'd gotten DC to release these in a proper order. But anyways, because let me tell you something, guys. Sometimes the writing for this character and Ivy is just so perfect. I think that I got misty-eyed over about Harley being scared of nothing. Like, she talks about how I wasn't scared of this, I wasn't scared of that, I wasn't scared of doing this. But then she's just like, but she's scared to give herself to be vulnerable to love. And that would have given everyone a bigger reaction. That would have had more stakes if we had gotten this before last week's Batman. Because you already know, if you read last week's Batman, you already know what happens. So I think that there's a bigger emotional attachment, emotional reaction there for the reader if it had been read. There's higher stakes. If Harley had been released last week, Harley and Catwoman had been released last week, and then we got Batman this week. But nope, this is how we got it, so we just got to deal with it. But if you want to deal with it this way. Know that alone was still really beautiful. It does a disservice to these writers that understood the project and understood the assignment, and we gained some awesome stuff. Okay, but you know what? I can't move on without talking about Kevin. Our boy Kevin. I love Kevin. Sweet, sweet, sweet Kevin. Oh my goodness. We get this awesome internal battle stuff with Kevin. Like, has he grown to the point where he can be selfless and save all these people, and especially someone that meant so much to hurt him in the past, and risk himself? And you know what the answer to that question is being with Harley and being, who he's been trying to be throughout all this run, has given him the ability to make that choice. And he gets the girl in the end. He's going to go have breakfast with the girl. And so he's a hero too. And I love it. I love it. Kevin is a hero. Kevin is a hero. It's so great. So awesome. And what we've got right now is we have gotten to my pick of the week. And guys, if you know what was coming out, it's Robin number 8. Guys and gals alone. Oh man. I was thinking we were going to get the end of the fight here, but we didn't. Which is okay. It's okay. Because you know what? You're not hardcore unless you live hardcore, right, Damien? Right? There. Oh my goodness. This doesn't have a lot of dialogue, okay? But the dialogue that it does have is biting and heartfelt. Damien sees Lazarus Island as punishment for letting Alfred down. Sit there and think about this for a second. Absolutely. If anyone blames Damien for what happened in City of Bane, they can go suck a big one. You know, go eat a piece of shit. Okay? Go hit over the head with a bag of dicks. Okay? Because it isn't his fault. But he thinks he let Alfred down. And that's why he went to Lazarus Island. Not to make his mommy happy, not to show up his dad or his grandfather. He went to Lazarus Island because of Alfred. So anyways, you've got Conor Hawk versus Damien. Oh man, guys. Conor Hawk versus Damien. And it's crazy. It's crazy because there's not a lot. It's the final showdown. There's not a lot of dialogue, but you've got this really cool. Guys, I'm going to show it to you. Screw it. Screw it if it's going a while. Okay, I'm going to show it to you because you have this awesome little piece of art. This awesome little moment. I'm finding it for you right now so I can show you where they just rush each other. And you have a robin rushing a hawk. It's so cool. I love it. This whole like David and Goliath moment, you know, the robin, the small little robin rushing the hawk. Great. Great stuff. So Conor knocks out Damien. This is only Damien's second death. And Damien is like, gets up and he's like, well, actually, he's like knocked out, right? And they're like, okay, great. We're going to have Conor go up against the demon. And the Conor's whole thing was he went there because he thought he could take care of the demon. He could defeat the demon. And while he's explaining this to Damien, who has now woken up and is fully healed, like the demon just kind of reaches through Conor Hawk. But I don't think, I'm going to take a wild guess here. I'm going to theorize here. I don't think this is the end of Conor Hawk. I am thinking he hasn't had enough deaths yet to be permanently dead. We will see. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, guys, sorry, it's been kind of a long one this week. I'm going to go ahead and that's it for me for now. Go ahead and like, comment, share. Let me know what you thought of the comics this week. Maybe I didn't read something you read and you think I'd like it. So let me know in the comments, and check out some of my other videos. Like I said, I've got some more that I've posted recently that you might like. And, you know, read, keep reading. Keep reading because that's why we're here, guys. Read, experience, and keep being kind to each other, and keep doing the things, because keep going. Move forward. Keep moving forward. Forward movement. And hopefully someday you'll all be okay. So, this has been the officially unofficial Geek Channel Spoilertastic Weekly Comic Roundup. I'm your host, as always, Carrie, and until next time, I'll be seeing ya. Bye!